Hey, true believers. Chris Mack coming at you with an action figure that I'm thankful to be able to review. Today we're going over the Mythic Legends Skeleton Legion builder figure. And I got to give a shout out to my buddy Woody. This is his and he let me borrow it. He said, hey man, you got to review this. So thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it. And as for Woody, if you guys want to check out his amazing artwork, go check out his website at woodromeillustrations.com. I'll make sure to leave a link down in the description, and all the cool props that I use during my photography, he is the one that makes those for me, so I appreciate you, brother. Now, if you guys want to pick this figure up, at the time of this recording, he is available at Big Bad Toy Store. If not, as I always say, please first and foremost support your local comic shop and see if you can get this from them as well. So you see the cool Mythic Legions logo there, awesome figure, cool little logo there, and then just the Mythic Legend websites there. Come around to the side, cool little product shots of the skeleton, army building thing. Come around to the back, love the artwork. The figures from the wave look amazing. I'll make sure to get a close-up on the read-up so you can check it out at your convenience. Come back around this way, just the blister pack on the top, just the PCU or PLU, whatever that thing's called, on the bottom. Just all the other stuff, websites, all the legal mumbo jumbo, whatever. Now, is this figure awesome or not? Let's get him out of the package and get a closer look at him. Until my buddy asked me to review this figure for him, I had never heard of this line, and I gotta say, I'm falling in love with it. This figure is absolutely awesome, and all the absolute cool ways that you can pose them, all the accessories you can come with. And then I found out that with the wave you can interchange parts. It's mind-blowing and just a really cool original idea. And this figure in and of itself has a lot to offer. There may be one or two things, and that's just usual with the figure, that may chap your hide. What am I talking about? Let's get him off the stand and get a closer look at him. Now, before we dive into the skeleton, let's kind of talk about the backstory of this company and this line. So Mythic Legions is a toy line and an entertainment property created by Four Horsemen Studios. From what I read, the founders started at McFarlane Toys, then became a contractor for Mattel, and eventually grew into an independent studio. And if I'm not mistaken, feel free to make fun of me down in the comments because I'm not well versed, but I believe the Mythic Legion started out as a Kickstarter, and then they just kind of exploded from there. Now, Mythic is set in the fantasy land of mythos and centers around the power struggles between its inhabitants. And I gotta say, I appreciate the Four Horsemen creating their own line and built a story and world around it. I feel this is kind of becoming a lost talent in the action figure community, especially considering the fact that they're doing it because they love it and not trying to promote like a cartoon, etc. so forth, like back in the 80s, like with He-Man, G.I. Joe, and Transformers, even though those are still beloved lines. Now, with that said, let's talk about the accessories that comes with this dude, and there is a lot. So let's start with the ones that I'm not 100% sure on. Feel free to fill me in, but on this skeleton, if you turn him around, he has that plug here, this rectangular looking plug, and you get these three plugs. Now, one has like holes like this, and of course the focus is like, hey, guess what? I'm gonna go all fuzzy on you. So we have this one, which I'm not 100% sure on either. Same with this one, where they kind of have those holes for whatever, and then the last one has a slot like this, so if you plug it in, I was watching someone else review this on YouTube, and they were trying to get the sword to fit in here, but the blade's too big. So I was kind of looking through the comments, and they were saying that for these, and it makes sense if you remember when we went over the Sky Tyrant Wing Batman Who Laughs. They said that these are for extensions for wings, so you'd have like a bone-winged skeleton. So that'd be kind of cool. I'm not sure which figure would come with those, because from what I understand, all these parts that come with each character Four Horsemen made it to where they can be interchangeable, so you can have your own custom figures, which I think is absolutely awesome to be able to swap out with your figure. So that's kind of what I'm thinking those plugs are for. He also comes with these awesome looking, sorry guys, still trying to kick this cough. These shoulder pauldrons, and the attention to detail on them. Like, even though I know this is supposed to be their own figure line, these really remind me of something you'd see like in a Skyrim or Oblivion, which is really cool. And if you look at the figure, these two sides here, you just take the plug, boop, and then let's grab the other one and go boop. So you get these badass looking shoulder pauldrons that the color scheme just fits. Like, it doesn't look out of place. Like, if this came packaged like this, you wouldn't know the difference. And I like that they make sure that the plugs that go into his back, when these are on, it covers it and you don't see so much of that other plug right here. Really good stuff. Love that. Kind of wish that he came with a helmet, though. That would have been kind of neat. But anyway, talking about more weapons, let's talk about the sword. I love this big badass buster sword. Let's back up a little bit. I mean, look at how it shimmers in the light. That is a gorgeous blade. I would hate to get hit by that. The guard here, really nice looking. Love that design on the hilt. The wrap for the handle looks good. And then what's cool is you get a detachable leather belt that you can either put over his back and have the sword slung on his back, or the dagger, which we'll get into in a minute, or you just slide this up his legs here and it could go here as a belt, so you at least get some sort of weapon storage, and it fits effortlessly into the little slot there, so that is awesome. Now we'll talk about the dagger. Again, equally awesome. I kind of wish that Hasbro would pay a little more attention to the detail on their weapons like this, because, I mean, look at this. That shimmer, the hilt, the guard, just absolutely gorgeous work. And yeah, you can tell it's fake, but still, it looks more realistic than a lot of mainstream accessories that we get. And then the big one that I love is this bad Mamma Jamma battle axe. Now, there was another person that was reviewing this figure, and they said that they kind of wished that the weapons kind of looked dirty, like the skeleton, which I kind of agree. It would have been kind of neat to have that dirty kind of necromancy look to it. But still, I mean, look at the way they did this handle. All the intricate overlapping here on the silver, and then the wrap, because you can put it on two hands, and yes, he actually comes with two open hands. And that's another thing here. Even though they're open like this, they still look like they can punch. So it kind of has a dual versatility to the hands, and this axe fits relatively well. And you can either have a single blade axe, and then this is what I'm loving about this interchangeable stuff, is so you get the one blade, but this back piece, be careful taking it off for the first time because it's super tight. Just kind of gently twist it and twist it, and you get a little peg, right? And so when you open this bag of accessories, you're gonna see this. And look, a plug. What are we gonna do with the plug? Look at that. Oh my god, you get a double-sided axe. How fracking cool is that, guys? You get options. A lot of figure lines, you don't get options. You just kind of have to hope that the next figure comes with something that you can put in a character's hand. But oh my god, this thing just, oh, it's so cool. And you get to smack them. Rah! It's so freaking cool. So yeah, those are the accessories. Such a wide variety that you can just do just about anything you want with. Oh, love it. Now let's go ahead and take the pauldrons off so we can talk about the paint apps. Unpluggy. Now for the skeleton head here, gorgeous work. I mean, look at the attention to detail, how dirty and nasty, and how the eyes are sunken in, the nose is sunken in, the teeth are nasty. The one thing that I kind of wish that you could do with this figure, and I don't know if other Mythic skeletons can, because from what I understand is, they have all these different sub-cultures within this world that they're creating. And I heard that the skeletons are like a whole nother subset in and of themselves. I don't know if any other ones have where the mouth can open. That would just be such like, cherry on top of the pie right there if you could open that mouth and just But sadly this one doesn't. But speaking of the head, the one thing that's going to drive me nuts is the armor looks great here. And looking straight on like this, gorgeous work, but when you turn the head, see how the neck is gray, but yet kind of has like a, let's see if I can get a closer look for you guys, skeletal look to it. I wish that they would have kept that paint color, because here is just, it throws it off. I mean, it's not a big deal, but as you can see, it looks like a neck bone. And I just wish that they would have kept this color motif going down on the neck and then letting the armor be its own thing. So that's one of my slight gripes, but it's not super noticeable, especially if you're going to put it on a shelf or if you're going to photograph it. The way that you're going to light it, it's not going to be a big deal, or you can get fancy and recolor it in Photoshop or whatever editing software you use. Now for the armor, love that dark gray. Looks so good. And then I like that they kind of make it a little flappy here on the bottom and on the top. It makes it easy for mobility, so you're not hindered. So I'm super thankful for that. And I just love all the little intricate details. You can tell that these guys worked for McFarlane Toys. And that Todd's like, make sure there's detail. And I mean, look at the chainmail, the way everything looks. Nothing looks like it's unfinished. Like we've seen some Hasbro Legend figures where it'll have like a brushing on the front, and as you get to the back, it's gone, and it's like, why'd you half-ass it? But I mean, look at the way the bone, like, yeah, this is the most darkest, kind of dirtiest look, but at least the bone all the way around on the legs and the arms, like it doesn't look super off. I wish that they would have made it maybe a little bit more dirtier, but that's all right. I always forget what this is called, but the warrior loincloth, I guess, looks good. Details look awesome. All the way on the back, no shirking there. Boots look like soldier boots are supposed to. Very awesome. Love the way the wings here flare out. Love the overlaying there. These look like the way night boots would look. Very awesome detail all the way around. So I can't complain about the paint outs whatsoever. It's absolutely gorgeous. Now, as for the articulation, surprisingly, he can move around pretty well. There's a few things, so let's go ahead and dive into it. So the head's on a dumbbell joint. You can look down that much. Look up that much. And one thing that I do want to caution, I know in all my reviews, I talk about warming up your figure first and foremost, either with a hairdryer, hot water, however you do it. I appreciate that when you open, I don't know if it's with every Mythic figure, but with this one, there's actually a piece of paper. It said that, being out in the elements, delivering, etc., so forth, that the joints can get tight, to please warm these up, and it gives you different ways to do it. So I appreciate that these creators know what they're up against, because, yeah, this guy was pretty tight when I got him out of the packaging. So again, I like that they made sure that some of the pieces here are loose, like the neck thing, so you can actually get a nice full range. And again, like we were talking about with this, where you can actually move the arm up and it goes with the shoulder. 360. And then this is where my first pet peeve kind of comes. So I wish that he had a bicep swivel here, but instead it swivels at the elbow, which for me limits mobility as if it was up here. And then of course, single jointed elbows. It is what it is. But at least you have that. And then hand here spins 360 up and down, so you get that mobility there. He doesn't pivot from here, he pivots down here at the waist. So you can get him to go down that much. Back about that much. Legs. These were the tightest for me. I had to warm these suckers up a lot. And I saw a lot of like dry paint come out of here. But after you warmed them up, you can get him out, his legs out about that far. Can kick out that far. And because he's a skeleton, doesn't have a butt flap, you can go all the way back. 90-degree bend on the knee, which is awesome. I do wish that he had some sort of thigh swivel. There's nothing really there. He does have the boot swivel, which is awesome. Foot can go up that much. Foot can go down that much. And I thought he had a toe pivot, because it looks like he does. Nope, no toe pivot. Sad. But he does have the ankle rocker. So minus a few things I've kind of gotten accustomed to with like the McFarlane line, at least as I said, this guy, other than the swivels, man, the single jointed elbows. Anyway, very well done. So you can get some really cool dynamic poses out of this guy. Now to kind of give you an idea of scaling Mythic Legions with other lines, here is the NECA Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3 Dream Warriors Ultimate Freddy Krueger, the Age of Apocalypse Colossus Build-A-Figure Wave Magneto, the McFarlane Toys 3 Jokers, the Comedian, and then Wade just demanded to be in the photo. He wanted to be Molly Ringwald in this sense. So anyway, don't worry about him. He just wanted to be included in the group. But as you can see, Freddy's somewhere between 6, 6.5. Magneto, I believe, 6. So these kind of scale somewhere together. And then the Joker, of course, the McFarlane line is 7 inches. So you're going to kind of have a nice wide variety of scaling, whether you do it on a shelf, whether you're doing photography. But with photography, you get that fancy little, what's it called? Depth of field. So like if you want to put him with Freddy in a photo, you just kind of back him up a little bit or play with the perspective and it's going to be okay. But nonetheless, just kind of throwing him in the mix, he looks like he belongs with the rest of these characters. Like I love to put this guy up against Batman or the, what was it? The, what's his name? The big blue death metal Batman. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he's the one that took the helmet from Themyscira and became the big beefy Goliath Batman. So I may have to do a warrior scene like that. But nonetheless, guys, you're going to have an absolutely great time with these Mythic Legions, putting them up against whatever other lines you want to go with. This skeleton is actually really awesome, and it's making me fall in love with this Mythic Legions line. Though I will say, as much as I like it, will I continue to want to collect it? Probably not. But that's because I'm a dinosaur and I'm kind of set in my ways on what figures I collect. However, my buddy just, would he let me borrow this and review it, and kind of opening my eyes to a whole new line of, these creators making their own world and making these figures very versatile where you can swap things out. That is such an awesome idea. And as I said, a lost art where they're building their own mythos on top of it without, TV or anything like that. They're just doing it for the sake of loving it. And that, to me, is awesome. Now, I do wish, and like I said, no figure is perfect. I do wish that they would have painted the neck joint to look more like the skeleton. That gray just kind of throws it off. And the lack of this thigh swivel and the, I wish they would have given him a bicep swivel instead of an elbow swivel. Those are the only few little gripes that I have. But overall, really cool figures, guys, and I highly recommend them. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please first and foremost support your local comic shop and see if they have this line in stock. If not, then you can go the route that we talked about online, or just check out Mythic Legion's websites. And if you've enjoyed this review, we really would appreciate if you take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Helps the club channel more than you could possibly know. And if you won't mind hitting that fancy little Legion bell next to subscribe, that way as we continue to upload content, you guys will get notified. Come to the channel, and we love talking with you all and hearing your thoughts and feedback down in the comments below or our social media pages, which I'll make sure to leave the links down in the description. And with all that said, photo slideshow coming up next. Thank you guys so much for stopping by, and I hope you all Continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, true believers.